Microphone check 1 2. Hey guys, it's Thursday. It's all about Game Talk, and tonight we got some really good stuff. We're gonna be talking about Assassin's Creed and Left Alive. So this is gonna be a really point on the point with topics tonight. And guys, are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
I'm still playing that intro. I'm listening to it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I like it.
Yeah. So I guess Fred will be diving in with our first topic here.
Yes, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Where to begin? First off, the intro. Our fellow brothers team member, Forsaken. Big him up. He actually is the one who remixed it. The original team. You know, Assassin's Creed normally have some very nice teams, though they all sound the same somewhat, but they all have their uniqueness to it. But I personally like the remix of it. So big up, Jonathan. Well done. But let's dive straight into it. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's out for how long now? Maybe about a week now. It's been out for about approximately a week. I haven't clocked the 100 hours as yet, but I have a few hours in, and I think that I'm able to talk about it. You know, let's see. First off, for those who still wondering whether or not you want to pick up the game, without spoiling, how to say, it is unique in its own ways. You know, it's not necessarily, for me, I won't class it as an Assassin's Creed game. You know, I think it's just because it has gone full RPG mode basically. You know, you gather items. They took a lot of elements from Origins, you know, and they basically just expanded on it now in this one. But the main reason why I would say that there isn't like an Assassin's Creed game per se is because there's no longer a hidden blade. So if you're the type of player, you know, who want or see Assassin's Creed being Assassin's Creed because of the hidden blade element, there's no hidden blade in this, obviously. The spear we use, or broken spear, acts as a hidden blade, but it's not necessarily hidden blade, you know. Without spoiling it, it's basically just explaining the story of the Templars, so I won't go too much into details, but I'll just leave it as like that. But it's not a game that I would say is perfect by all means. There were many times I experienced 1 or 2 glitches, you know, and it really and truly, I won't say that the glitches stopped me from enjoying the game, but it's notable. Along with the combat system, you know, a lot of people within the franchise, from ever since the first Assassin's Creed, you know, I'm not sure if many of you guys can agree with me. You know, sometimes the fighting style may have been a bit plain. You know, it's just basically us waiting to counter the enemies, and they all just like, you know, attacking one by one. So it was just like, wait, counter, okay, wait, counter, okay. This one, they took it up a notch, but I think that, you know, it still has room for improvement, especially with how they want to implement the combat. You know, how to say, there are multiple people and they're coming around. So sometimes in the open battles that take place, which happen by you basically just sabotaging and destroying resources and taking out leaders to basically bring down the defense of an area. When you go into open battle for combats, the lock-on system, I don't like it, because when you lock on, since I play on my PlayStation 4, I use both my analog sticks obviously to move. So I have, and with the lock-on, your right analog stick is also to switch in between persons that you have locked on to. And with that in mind, is like, okay, if I'm locked onto one person in front of me, my peripheral view, I still have two other people. And if I'm trying to move to my right, my analog would actually kind of like even watch my view, it would actually switch to that person on the right hand side, but I didn't want to switch to that person on the right hand side, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's then like, you know, opening me up for like an attack. And the counter system, and I use say counter in like inverted commas, isn't really there because there's not much time left for you, and to counter you have to like press L1 and R1 at the same time, which is like kind of like a block like. So it is really and truly frustrating sometimes in a battle where, you know, it's like two enemies just attacking you back to back, and you don't have time to like counter. If I'm supposed to say like I want but I think Origins really and truly their combat system in Origins I would have preferred for this one compared to Odyssey. It takes time, I guess, if you want to put it like that, you know, to get used to, along with the skill tree. So they improved on the skill tree from Origins and took it up way up a notch in Odyssey. So basically we have the same assassin, warrior, and another one elemented, but when you're going into combat, it really and truly depends on the situation. You actually will have to like unassign let's say abilities and assign them depending on the situation. So I learned that because like, as I said, while fighting I was dying a lot, and I was like, yo, this is not making sense, like it's so frustrating. And then I realized, I was like, oh, okay, cool, I have to like take off my, let's say, abilities for assassination and actually, you know, switch it up and use different abilities for different scenarios, you know. Just looking at the stream here, like, yo, Maximus, why we have this looping again? Why we watching this loop? Anyway, but you know, the abilities, there are a lot, and I like now in combat compared to, let's say, Origins, the way you use different abilities for, like, let's say your arrows or whatnot, they take up underneath you have like a power or ability bar, so you can't always like how to say, take advantage or of the system itself, because in Origins, if you played Origins, you know, for example, you had like the Hunter's Bow. With the Hunter's Bow, basically it's kind of like slows down time, you know. So if you had like 30 arrows, that's basically like 30 times you can slow down, you know, basically, and you can always just gather back arrows, so you're never technically out. But in this one, it takes up like, as I said, like stamina, ability, power, whatever you want to call it. So you can't always abuse the system. You actually need to also like fight in order for you for your gauge to fill up, and I like that, you know. So it still means that you have to like think and know your area and your surroundings. What's the next thing about the game? Well, sailing is back. Sailing is a game element, mechanic, whatever you want to call it, that was introduced in Black Flag and came back again in Origins. But with Odyssey, they have taken it up a notch again, and I like it. You know, you have this time the crafting is not so much focused and centered on your weapons and armor, but more so on your ship, if you understand where I'm coming from. So the same materials that you gather, you use that basically for more so for your ship. You know, you have to be able to speed, the endurance, like how long and how fast your rowers can row, armor for your ship, the hull. You actually can put lieutenants who also boost, give boost to your crew on your ship. So I like that, you know. It really and truly it is nice, it's fresh, you know. Big up Geo. Geo is the other day he was asking me, you know, what's going on, we haven't seen a stream, so I hope you're happy now, Geo, you know. League after we go league. So but yeah, the ship handling element, I like it. You have the ability now to recruit lieutenants, you know. So So that's good. Or you can also store items on your ship. So your ship has inventory size of I think like 365, along with your personal inventory as well. So you can swap out in between from your ship to your inventory. Naval combat is nice as well, but I do like, however, like when you're boarding a ship or getting ready to board a ship, you actually see where your crew they're like, they're so hyped up, you know, they go full on Spartan, you know, like knocking the shields, knocking their spears, and they're really like ready to board and fight the ship. So I like that as well with it. But other than that, what can I say? It is and isn't necessarily like, oh look, you see, like if you're watching here, you see they're just stamping and you know they're just getting hyped. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I don't know. To me, I still have to do the video for you guys. Waiting on Fox when he has some time to really and truly dive into, you know, what made the franchise great. And I'm not saying that the game isn't good, but I think it's just like one of those games that, you know, they just add like a title to it, you know. So it could have been a good standalone, you know, but instead, because they didn't want to take that risk and that gamble, you know, they attach something that is already popular and be like, oh, okay, cool, you know, this is Assassin's Creed. I guess assumed, you know, if they had just leave it as Odyssey, you know, it may have sold for itself, but adding the Assassin's Creed brand, it kind of you know, lifts it or sells it more. But yeah. What else can I say about this game? I'm enjoying it so far. If I say no, I will be lying. There are some times that, you know, there are for some frustrating moments, you know, just trying to like wrap my head around the whole combat system. Sometimes I'm still kind of getting used to it, but it is good. But the next thing that I've noticed, however, is also when it comes to the trophies in Odyssey. Now, Assassin's Creed isn't a franchise to stray away from trophies. This time, thank the Lord, they didn't necessarily put a trophy that you have to clear the whole map. I mean, that was so tedious for me for when I was playing like Origins, the Platinum Origins. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's just like, yo, the map was so big, and this one is bigger than Origins. So thank God they didn't like clear all objectives to then get some trophy for that. But they do have a trophy that piqued my interest, which was where is it? Just now. Yeah, Wrath of the Amazons. Yeah, sorry. I had a piece of people that I took it all noted on like all the way across my table. So yeah, Wrath of the Amazon. So basically with this trophy, it is I have to have all female sailors, like, you know. So it means now I actually have to, once I finish the Alexio storyline, I actually have to play as Cassandra, who is the other protagonist, like, and equip my ship with all female sailors for me to be able to unlock that trophy in order for me to platinum. Now I don't mind it, but at the same time it's just like you know, now I actually have to play as a female, if you understand where I'm coming from. Oh, that Spartan Click is also overpowered. It's OP. But yeah, Jonathan, like I know you're one for like trophies, and you know, what are your views on that aspect?
My views on trophies and that aspect. Trophies should never be anything more than basically a show of your skill of playing a game for a while. For example, Monster Hunter does trophies. I think Monster Hunter has one of the best set of trophy systems out for awarding players for doing stuff you were going to do anyway. For example, two of the hardest trophies to get in the game are the crowns. There's the get the majority of the large crowns and get the majority of the small crowns. And basically you get these crowns whenever you hunt any monster. Well, any of the base game monsters, not really the DLC monsters, which again, Monster Hunter does amazing because it's free DLC, guys. Yeah. You just have to go after these monsters. You do missions with your friends, and while you're doing missions, more than likely you'll get the big version of the monster, the little version of the monster, and even Capcom themselves help you out by sometimes putting up missions where hunts where you actually get to face the large normal size and the small size of the monster. After you keep doing those missions, your normal missions, even if you don't get to do the events, you will obviously pick up the crowns, and that's like the hardest trophies in the game to get. The only one harder would be the one Fred still hasn't gotten yet, which is to get all the pets. And to do that, it's like a lot of using different equipments and stuff, sneaking around and exploring parts of the map you'd probably never go if it wasn't for looking for these pets. So to come in a game like Assassin's Creed, and for people who like to do trophy hunting like that, I mean, I relatively get trophies, but I usually stop like at 80 or 90%. Fred will go all the way and platinum his games. To tell you to do something like have a crew of all Amazons, it's not like to say they're telling you to survive or to ensure no Amazons die or something like that to show your skill. It's like just a forced tidbit to say, yo, get an all-woman crew. It feels like a form of inclusion more than a trophy to hunt. Although, Fred, I don't know if you did try while you was playing the guy to see if you could have had a ship full of women. Maybe you could have get while you was playing the guy. You don't know, maybe you should try that first, and we'll talk about it next episode if it don't work with the guy having an all-woman crew.
I can try, maybe.
Yeah, try that, because we don't want to go and bash them for it, doing something like that, and then it turns out, oh, you could get with the guy too, just to have an all-woman crew. But it's something modern games are doing right now. They're trying to include strong female characters and encourage more female main characters, and I'm not against it. I'm just, especially in a historic game, it's just like it don't feel right, because I played games with strong female characters, Metroid being one of my favorite. There's also Bayonetta, although pretty sure they're using her as a sex symbol in that game. There's Tomb Raider, who shows you Lara Croft. Right now, she's supposed to be at the start of her tomb raiding career. That she's not in Tomb, by the way. And well, listen, I'm missing something very important. Ellie from The Last of Us. I enjoyed playing her as a child, and I wouldn't praise it, but there was a part where she fought against this guy who tried to overpower her, and wow, it was really brutal. But yeah, we saw how for part 2 she grew up into a stronger, independent person in a post-apocalyptic world. And it wasn't the usual rhetoric for when a female character goes through that and all kind of family and love interest sort of thing. It was no, it was just basic survival. She's just trying to survive in this world and trying to be strong and move on and stuff like that. So it's just games going that direction. And I'm happy for it because you get more inclusion and you get the options for people to pick either male or female depending on your choice. But I don't like it when it becomes a forced narrative where they're yeah, it's your choice to play the game how you want, but well, you have to do this way because we want you to do it this way.
I understand, but there was 2 more things I was supposed to talk about before I actually touched on the whole trophy aspect. Another thing with Assassin's Creed Odyssey that surprised me, the AI is dumb.
Ridiculously dumb, because wait, hold on, Fred. Wait, I just have one thing to support you with that. Max too. Remember Max, Fred, I was telling you guys about Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I was telling you it's like an RPG that if you guys play it, you won't stop. And Freddy mentioned that when you were fighting group of soldiers, they were coming at you one by one.
three at a time coming at you, but there's no proper lock
aiming
mechanic,
system,
you know
lock
what I mean?
mechanics,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it makes it much harder. But in the AI in Odyssey, to me they're dumb because in one of the earlier clips there, I'm not sure if people noticed or I'm not sure if Kantas played it, but you assassinate let's say a soldier in front of another soldier, and that's not, the soldier might not necessarily like see you, but he would see his body right there, right? To me, that's supposed to like sound alarms, and if I'm not mistaken, in Origins it did raise alarms. In this one, they're like, oh, damn, you know, like who is, you know, who is he or where is he, you know? And then they just walk off. So and it's like right in front of you. I'm like standing right in front of you, and they're like, who is that? You know? So I think the AI has been dumbed down drastically in Odyssey. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
It could be difficulty settings.
Maybe, but then even still, you know, I just still find it like ridiculous, and not necessarily like funny, but it still like makes you like wonder, you know. Another thing too that I don't like, or I didn't like with Odyssey, is that I'm basically a mercenary. So you know, depending on how many people you kill and all that, your bounty level goes up. But these bounty hunters, they're like pests. I mean, if you play the game, you'll understand where I'm coming from, because like you may be going to do like a story mission, and the bounty hunters are there right there in the camp, and then if they see you, they will start to fight you. So you can't even start the quest because the bounty hunters in the camp. Compared to, let's say, Origins, where the bounty hunters and they were following you, but they were not like on you. You understand? They walk their own paths, they do their own things, and if you come into contact, or if you run into them, then they think. But these guys, they are like leeches, yo. They're some serious bloodhounds, right? I don't know how mercenaries were back then, but they're just like on you. Another thing with it too is that since technically you have no sides per se, it's all a part with like the whole story. I don't like let's say, okay, if I'm working with Spartans, that I'm still able to kill Spartans. If I'm working with Athenians, I don't want to be able to still kill them. You understand? Because to me it defeats the whole purpose of you know, like being a mercenary, kind of like I'm lending you my sword, but I'm still kind of killing your men at the same time. Because one of the missions I tried to do earlier, a Spartan soldier, like I had to approach another guy to talk to him and press triangle to talk, and then another soldier came in front of me, and as soon as I pressed triangle, that's also to assassinate. So I assassinated him right in front of everybody else, and then everybody else, like, you know, were like on the alert, and then I have to like kind of leave the area and wait until they're no longer looking for me to then come back. So that is an element that I don't like and I don't appreciate. Like if I'm lending you my sword, I don't want to, you know,
You are locked.
Yeah,
You are locked
yeah.
basically now. Like they become friendly, so you can't assassinate them.
Yeah. Another thing with it too. No, I know that they tried differently with the whole dialogue, wheel dialogues in this one here. But to me, it is not really all that how to say, influential and great. I think Witcher 3 did it better compared to be very honest, you know, or even Horizon Zero Dawn. Their dialogue wheels felt a bit more unique and actually personal, you know. With this one here, there's some trophy that you actually have to be able to try and sleep with another character, and basically I was doing a mission for her, but instead of answering her questions, I was just like basically flirting with her, and I think, you know, it that to me, you know, she just gave in, and I was like, if you know they did it better, whereas like, no, you need to help me before I actually like acknowledge your advancements, you know.
Like
know,
Dragon Age.
yeah, you know. So like, yeah, you need to be serious when it's time to be serious, or if I'm flirting, you know, it needs to be in a nice way. It can't be like, oh, everybody calls me beautiful, and then I'm like, well, I think you're beyond beautiful, and she's like, oh, thank you, that's so nice. Like, no, you know. I'm looking in the comments here. Jeremiah asks, you know, if I think or if we think this is the best Assassin's Creed game.
No.
No, no.
One was
to
the best.
me, which one you say is the best?
One.
The first Assassin's Creed with
The first Assassin's Creed was the best.
Nah, I'll actually say for me, Assassin's Creed 2 was the best, and the reason why is because, and it's something I will actually say, and I always say all the time, is that seeing Ezio actually from just being spoiled, noble
Brat.
to actually being, you know, responsible young adult. I mean, there were his at times, and he still had his moments, but he realized that, you know, yo, it's time for me to be serious, you know, moving on from just avenging his family to actually realizing that there is a wider threat. To me, that is what made Assassin's Creed 2 great, you know. They tried it again with Assassin's Creed 3 with Connor, but Connor just didn't have that style and that flair, that persona, you know, like Ezio had. So for me, I would say Assassin's Creed 2. You guys can say there in the comments, you know, which Assassin's Creed games you guys liked. It's hard for me to really and truly rate Assassin's Creed games because I have played them all and I like them all. But yeah.
Yeah, well, Fred, before you cut off. Yeah, but I would say 1. Mainly because 1 truly made you feel like an assassin. It was more about taking out one enemy without involving anybody else, without showing yourself, and keeping everything a secret and just moving on and not really becoming famous or whatever. It's like, you know, you were truly the shadows, although he also became famous in the Assassin's Creed organization, and later on it had the Templar chasing him. It felt like, you know, it was what they wanted to go. It was like the first game, and they simply got it right with the first game. I mean, usually when a first game come out, you'd think how they could do better and stuff, but it was like, yeah, that is what we wanted. That's Assassin's Creed. That's Assassin's Creed. That's the creed of the assassins. That's all we wanted. It wasn't like, you know, they could have do this better, they could have do that better, they could have do so and so, or Ezio had his own intrigue to him because he also had if I remember correctly, he wanted his own revenge. He also wanted to find out, you know, he wanted to find out what happened to chase down whoever, and then he found out, as you point out, there's something more important. There's a greater goal to achieve, something more important than his own personal interest, and
Check the comments,
to
guys.
also feel the betrayal, you know. That kind of made me feel like, you know, it had everything in it. And for the sequel, as you said, it was also a great game. It wasn't disappointed. It wasn't like, you know, it didn't spoil the franchise. They didn't stray too far away from the roots. They kept the roots as close as possible, and they gave us a collection. It wasn't just one game. It was like a complete collection to watch our character grow from, as you say, the spoiled brat to this experienced master assassin who leads this army and this whole organization to fight against the Templars and stuff.
It really and truly, I mean, I will cover it in my video. I don't want to necessarily go into it.
Jeremiah say, they make this video into a ripoff of God of War, but yeah, we'll get that to that other video. But we want to move on because Fred dies it, right? You done covered your history. One more important point before Fred moves on. Fred, your verdict. Either you're giving it that if you want, you can rate it out of 10, or if you could say it's a must buy, a definite buy, a sale buy, or only pick it up if you're into it.
If you are a true Assassin's Creed fan like myself, I bought it. I mean, I wasn't. This wasn't a game that I was excited for. Like, let's say like Origins. I was like, yo, you know, I only bought it because I wanted to see where the story is going. And as I said in my video, I will cover that. So if you are a follower of the franchise, you may buy it. Rating out of 10, I would give it like an 8. Like an 8 out of 10. Like, you know, I mean, they tried, but it's still like left up in the air, kind of. But I just bought the standard edition. If you want to buy the season pass, along with the season pass, we will be also getting Assassin's Creed 3 remastered. That's something I always wanted, so that's something good there. If you buy the season pass, you get that game with it. I may purchase the season pass separately afterwards or whatnot, but yeah, it's a game that you can buy. You know, it's long. It's about 100 hours of gameplay if you're supposed to, like, you know, cover every single thing, explore every rock, basically, if you want to put it like that. But yeah, you get your value for your money. So I'm not going to say that it's not a game to pick up, but yeah, you should get it. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
All right. I don't know if Max you here? Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, real quiet. You know, usually it cutting at some point, but yeah. So guys, I saw earlier. Wait, no pepper, pepper. What? I saw earlier Giovanni was mentioning looking to upgrade his gaming experience and thinking of a PS4 or a B-Slappy. Our next topic is actually going to dive into that, and it's something me and Cantos, well, Max talked about last time. Cloud gaming, and I don't know if you guys are following the news with it, but Microsoft has just launched their own streaming cloud gaming service, and it's called, well, not launched, they announced it, and it's called Project X Cloud, which promises to allow the streaming of Xbox One games across computers, phones, and tablets. Right now, they are currently testing it out, and they plan to open up tests to the public next year. There are a few other streaming services provided. I mean, PlayStation had their own PlayStation Now for you guys to play older PS games, but the problem usually with it would be the internet connection. And Fred in New York and I'm in Trinidad, and we both get issues when streaming games using PS Now, right, Fred?
Yeah. You know, sometimes it's really, like, you know, questionable. You know, I feel sometimes for like certain games also, like, okay, New York is on the East Coast of America, you're playing on the East Coast, you're supposed to be closer now, especially being in America, and sometimes my ping is high and my friends back home in Trinidad, their ping is low, and they're further away from the server, so yeah. So yeah, it depends on also your carrier as well.
Yeah, all the stuff. So guys, let me just give a brief definition of what cloud gaming is. If you guys don't understand, or some of you just coming into it, it's basically normally called gaming on demand, and it's online gaming, and it's usually split into two different types, which is cloud gaming based on video streaming, which is where they would have powerful servers which would actually run the game for you, and they'd stream it across to you through an application, or with another cloud gaming service I'll talk about a bit later, made by Google. And there's also the based on file streaming. So those two options are currently what's going on right now, and I think xCloud will more be file streaming, while Google's new streaming service will be video streaming. And the beauty of Google's streaming service would be that it's codenamed Project Stream, which is pretty simple and straightforward, but it will allow you to play games from your Chrome browser. And one of the first games they're testing it out with is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I talked about it with the guys, and I said, as we're already going to cover Fred's review of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we might as well talk about cloud gaming as well. And the closed beta for Google's Project Stream is planned to begin over the weekend. So we'll probably get feedback from guys on it. And Giovanni, what I was going to tell you was, don't be in such a rush to get a PS4. You could wait 1 or 2 years, see how the cloud gaming services go, because not only is PlayStation 5 officially in development, because yes, Sony has confirmed they've begun development of the console. I don't believe they've begun. I believe they've basically almost finished development of the console. And they've already sent out, they'd send out the I can't remember what you call it, not the prototypes. There's basically development console. That's what they call it, development console. They basically sent out the development console, because people used to sell it, right, Fred? They used to have the PlayStation 2 development console, the PS3 development console, the Xbox development console. These are basically the consoles with additional components that allows developers to create games using the software that the console would be using when it comes out. So I know for sure, because of how it's going, Last of Us 2 is probably already in development for it. Cyberpunk 2077 is in development for the PS5 and the new Xbox as well. We've already have speculations and rumors about the specs. I won't talk about go into details of that now. Me and Max will probably cover it in another episode of the specs for both of these consoles. But that's not the main point of cloud gaming and why we're talking about it right now. The main point of cloud gaming is it will allow you to stream AAA games on almost anything that support the streaming services. So pretty much we might probably see Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the Switch, on mobile devices, because as I just pointed out, Google will be allowing you to use a Chrome browser. So basically anything that could use a Chrome browser would allow you to play the game. I know Microsoft is working on a new specific touch input overlay for controller-free playing when you're playing streaming services on a mobile device, because you won't have your controller, so it will be kind of hard to do the bumpers and different buttons and stuff. So they'll have to, change the design of the buttons completely. And I guess games will also come with support for the new control schematics. And I don't know how you guys feel about cloud gaming, but to me, it's a plus, because what will be would be. Development of technology can't be halted by man when it comes to making money. Max, Fred, what you guys think about cloud gaming, and do you think it's a plus or a negative?
Well, I was thinking about I was looking at I was thinking about buying a Switch the other day, and I saw that in the game library, the upcoming games for next year, they had a lot of, I think they had 3 games that is going to be on cloud gaming. The number one being the same game that we just spoke about there, the Odyssey. The Odyssey is going to be on the Switch for cloud gaming, and I personally think that cloud gaming is, so I guess it is the future. I don't really like it though, because I find it too dependent on the connection, and not everybody, as you pointed out there, not everybody can have a super duper connection or can afford to get that super duper thing. And even if you're in a next sort of place in the world, and that's not guaranteed, so I'm not sure how that will work out for us. We might still have to resort back to the old fashioned gaming. That's what I think.
I share the same kind of view, you understand, because the number one contributing factor is basically your connectivity. So if you don't have a strong connectivity, it doesn't necessarily make sense, so
and I don't know if you guys realize it, you guys who are playing here, but we have been slowly forced into accepting the always online gaming methods. And it's something, I guess, guys would more play sports games yearly. Like me, I don't think Max really buys sports game as much, or Fred cares for sports games on the whole. But if you buy like Madden or FIFA or NBA 2K like me, every year, well, I didn't buy them this year, except for FIFA and Madden. I didn't buy 2K this year. But basically, when you're playing these games, you're required to be online to collect for 2K VC coins, for FIFA to use the rematch feature. The rematch feature, something which should be a standard of a FIFA game. If you do not log into your EA servers, you can't have rematches. And this is in manager mode or career mode. You can't have rematches at all, because you have to unlock it with whatever currency they have for it. It's not the coins you use to buy Ultimate Team stuff. It's just something you get when you play career mode or any game mode. You just get these coins and experience that build up. And for 2K, playing offline in career mode, that is a major no, because you need VC coins, which is the currency of 2K, in order to upgrade your character. So if you play in offline mode, you're not getting VC coins, which means you can't upgrade your stats, which means even if you play good, you get nothing, no rewards for playing it, which basically forces you to go into playing online. So if you don't have internet, say like in Trinidad, I know you guys know it, current goals or internet service might drop, stuff like that. It's going to suck. Battlefield, right? Yeah, but it's what?
Continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Giovanni, I agree with you. It is a cash grab, because the other day I was having a discussion with some of my friends, and basically what we were talking about is how much would it cost for the streaming services, because anybody who does computer gaming knows that it's not like console where we pay a fat fee of $400 or $300. We get a console, that's it. We have one standard. When it comes to computers, gaming on a whole, streaming is going to follow that. We drop into different categories of low, medium, high, extreme, and ultra. Is it ultra then extreme, or is it extreme then ultra? What you say, man?
As an extreme and ultra, I think most people reaching that way. That's a super system. That's what double TIs and what triple TIs.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's going into like the. It's more like RAM and processing more than anything else, because once your graphics, I think once you have like the latest graphics card, you're set. It's just to increase your RAM and stuff, and having an additional or SLI graphics card is a plus.
Cooling. Yeah,
overclocking and all those stuff. So like when you're going to this now, think it. When you're streaming now, remember, you no longer require your hardware. So now you have to ask yourself, when you're streaming, how much money is it going to cost me to stream? Well, we know for sure there's no way in hell they're going to stream low. So the base package might most likely be high. So they won't even go medium. You'll get high, which is basically what most games are shown gameplay. We're usually shown gameplay on extreme. So the base package would be high. Then we'd probably play for ultra, and then we'd have to play for extreme. So how much will it cost us, guys? Look at it this way. PlayStation has PlayStation Now, and I believe it's $9 a month, right? Fred? It's $9 a month, right? For PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's $9 a month for PlayStation Now, and that's just PlayStation games. Base PlayStation games. So we can't get high, low, whatever. So let's just take that as the basics. Let's also look at EA Origin Access Premier. Oh my god, as we talk about this, what about DLCs? how is DLCs going to work with cloud gaming? I mean, when you're streaming a game, are we automatically going to get the Ultimate Edition? Or is it going to be like EA, where you pay $5 a month for the basic Origin, which gets you the game up to the previous year, and it's just the base version of the game. But if you're like me and you pay for Origin Access Premier, you get the ultimate versions of the game. So like I have Madden Hall of Fame Edition, I have FIFA Ultimate Edition. You get those for paying the additional $10. So it's just $15 a month. So are we also going to factor that into cloud gaming? So then how is the price gonna go now? So Max is gonna go from like, $9 for the regular game. Then you pay like maybe $12 for Ultra, and then they'll be like, oh, you want Ultra, but you also want all DLC for any game you want to stream. Oh, well, you're gonna have to put that next $10 or maybe $20 onto that. So you might end up paying what? $25, maybe $30 a month. And then you're going to Extreme now. You might bump it up to a bit. They might end up just telling you, you know what, just pay $200 US a year. Or maybe $400 US a year. So basically paying for a console. But does that mean you get access to all the games in our library? Or is it going to be, Max, you buy the game and then you stream it from them?
You want to keep buying
so
the
then,
game and stream?
Yeah. Like they will have the games in the store, like, Steam have the Steam store, and you buy the game, and then from the app, you load it up, and you already purchase the game, then you're just paying for the hardware. So you might pay like $10 US just a month for being able to run a game on high. And then, as we talk about that, if you're streaming now, do they do the settings for you? Does that mean they lock the option settings? So the game not gonna be like PC? Yeah. It's a lot of stuff you're going to go into. Does that mean like, let me say we play Battlefield. You do the settings, we change it to high, we set it to high. So when we go into the options now for the game, because you could always go into the options, it's going to be like console where the options are fixed, we can't touch anything. And once we're streaming, it's automatically on high, and then they lock the options off for us not to be able to customize and things. There's a lot of stuff going into it, and I guess companies will now have to change how they have their games to accommodate it, no, Max?
Yeah, they have to. That adjustment. I tell you, that cloud gaming is really the future, but I'm old school, sorry. Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be buying my games on consoles, guys. That looks like it's gonna have a lot of bugs and issues.
I think to be quite honest, and I think I'm gonna be realistic here. I think even though they're introducing that online gaming thing, I think that might take at least the next 3 years to really pan out. At least 3 years or something. I think so.
I firmly believe, in all honesty, as I pointed out, it's a way of the future. We cannot change progress. We can attempt to change progress, but remember,
but we can't do nothing.
Yeah, we can't do nothing. But I think how it goes, how this beta goes for Google's Project Stream, and how people give input on it, and also the input for xCloud, which is Microsoft's Xbox One streaming services. Depending on the feedback of those, we will know if we'll get cloud gaming more from next year, or if it will take, as Max pointed out, at least 3 years for a successful implementation of it. Because guys, as we pointed out, there's a lot of stuff you have to deal with when you're doing cloud gaming. It's not like, yo, we're gonna stream games to you and you just pay a flat fee. It's not gonna be like that.
But next year is gonna be interesting. I think you were mentioning that the PS5 and the new Vita might come out, and what I read on Twitter earlier today is that the Nintendo is releasing a updated Switch. The Wall Street Journal basically announced that they're going to release a new Switch that will be more powerful. They're already dubbing it the XL Switch. So there's going to be a new Switch, and they confirmed that it will be next year also. So
oh my God, Max! You see that lovely word you said there, Excel.
Yeah.
I want to tell everybody on stream, and I'm going to say it for a certain person. I don't know if you're watching it, but Max and Fred know who I'm talking about.
Oh Lord.
Boy, I told you
Lord.
it is a handheld. It is not a console. I told you over and over, it is not a console. It is a handheld.
He has no access to internet right now. What a likely was the time.
Don't worry. I'll text him. I'll text him and tell him. These guys know who I'm talking about, guys. It's a fellow brother of steel member. But when he's out from his training, I will hit him with it again. But I told him, and I told a lot of people, the Switch is a glorified handheld. It is not a console. And I am still waiting for Nintendo to release their next gen console. The Switch is a handheld. I don't care what you tell me about docking it into a TV, because you could have dock and you could have hooked up a Vita to a TV as well. Just remember that, guy. You could have hooked up a Vita to a TV.
What thing with the Vita was, one, it came out, I would think it came out at a bad time. One, it didn't come out with many games. Two, and the price was just a bit too steep. Like, I mean, everybody still had PSPs. Like, I was thinking.
But I just love how Max pointed out that Excel word, Max. I was just waiting for the, like, somebody for themselves to shoot themselves in the foot and say it. They did it for me. I didn't have to force it. I didn't have to go, try to push my point. They did it for me, you guys. Excel, it's a bloody handheld. And if for those of you who don't know, Nintendo labels their handhelds whenever they're bringing out a new version. They usually label it with XL when they bring out a second version of it, an upgraded version. Like the DS XL.
That is the suggested name, man. And then confirmed in the official name, but they said XL in the thing.
That don't matter. I was right, guys. It's a glorified handheld.
Yeah, well, that's quite interesting that all these upgrades are going to be happening there, because the Nintendo's Switch has been selling really well, so they want to keep the momentum up. So we'll see how that goes, But
they will probably do well.
But guys, we're supposed to talk about one more thing, because we're clocking close to an hour right now. So we're supposed to be talking about
a lot of fun.
I think it was the last one?
Oh yeah, guys, we're gonna talk about games that's coming out next year. I'm excited for it and disappointed a bit for it, and we're going to talk about Square Enix new mech game, because we've been waiting so long for it. A new mech game, Left Alive, which is basically hold on, I have to get my notes. I like Fred.
I can talk in the meantime though.
Yeah, Max, go ahead while
I read a little stuff on it, and I have to say, to be quite honest, I've been waiting for a mech game, for like a really good mech game, for so many years. After Front Mission 5, after Front Mission, there hasn't, in my opinion, been a really, really good mech game. And Front Mission was made by Square Enix also, and they have taken the plunge again to dive back into this genre of gaming again, and I my expectations are almost breathless right now when Forsaken sent me the information that they are intending to make this game Left Alive, and I'm really excited. I'm not sure what you guys think about mech games, but that is something. As soon as it drops, I don't care what system it's on or what is happening, I have to get it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's relatively decent price for also having its own DLC. The day one edition is at $60 right now on the PSN store, and I think you get one DLC with it.
Wait, when this game is coming out?
It'll be coming out the 5th of March next year.
Okay.
So we have time, and we have time for everybody, for our wallets to refresh, guys. For our wallets to refresh. The original trailer for it was for 2018, but then they pushed back the game to early 2019. So guys, let me give you a bit on it. And I don't know if you guys noticed the character designs. If you watch it and you guys are huge Metal Gear fans like me, you'll notice that the characters look similar to those from the Metal Gear
Yeah.
series, and that is because Yoji Shinkawa from Kojima Productions, also one of the character designers for the Metal Gear Solid series, is taking part in it. And then we also have Takayuki Yanase, who's the mech designer, also for Ghost in the Shell, Arise, and Mobile Suit Gundam 00. For those guys who love to play on Switch, you must know this game. And if you don't have this game, why do you have a Switch? Xenoblade Chronicles X. He's also one of these mech designers for those games. He also joins them to create the Left Alive Dark and Gritty World. The game tells a story of survival from the perspective of 3 different protagonists, which is this guy with a voice that does not match his apparent age, a female character, and also an older guy with a voice that actually matches his age. One of the unique features though they've spoken about was you were able to choose your playing style, which means you could go into engaging and frenetic gun battles, or dispatch your enemies with stealth and wit, setting traps, collecting and craft consumables while you survive and explore a devastated city. And you'll get the full story between the eyes of 3 different characters. I guess you'll also get 3 different personalities. You know, the usual personalities, the naive young guy who's just joined the force, the experienced veteran, and, you know, the female protagonists have to be, you know, the caring person and have to overlook the naive guy. How to make sure he's safe, because, you know, he kind of stupid and dense. So, like, yeah, you're seeing the elder guy here. That's the older guy. He's supposed to be the leader or something, I believe. And something I was going to talk about. Ah, yes. I don't know if you guys remember from last week. Oh my god, look at that amazing gameplay. God, I love Max. Last week, me and Max talked about we are now in the era of action RPGs, and that's basically what Left Alive is. And we're really excited for it. You know, just cause of that, it's a mech game in an action RPG series. So I know what me and Max are most importantly looking forward to: customizations.
Oh hell yeah! If they have no customization, by Fireborn.
No, don't worry about Fred, guys. Fred is them naive plebes that don't understand the beauty of mech.
Wait, Frederick don't like mech games?
Meh.
Frederick, you never play Front Mission? You ever hear about Front Mission? We 97 near Ottoman, nothing boy. A little halfway mech game, you know.
Nah, I really and truly, Max, I don't think Fred ever played a mech game since I know him, you know. Because I really and truly, I don't think there was any mech game. Fred, I think the last...
Oh yeah, Xbox used to run a lot of the mech games at one time, yeah?
Yeah.
But nobody have an Xbox, who cares?
Yeah, I think the last Front Mission I played was Front Mission Evolved, and I think that's for PS3 I played that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It wasn't great, but it was decent.
Yeah, it was decent. Wow. Okay, that's it. That's really mind-boggling. But
yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah. Actually, well, you never play a mech game, boy. You missing out on life, boy.
Yeah, go back and play any mech game you can find. Mech games are awesome.
Because even the VAT system in Fallout, that's basically a kind of rip off of a lot of the mech games, shooting parts and the body parts and taking on a man arm on his leg and thing. That's from the mech series, you know, that kind of thing. You know. But anyway, we can see how that turns out. Have anything else you have to say about that wonderful game, Forsaken?
I don't know if this video we have here will show it, but the collector's edition for the game looks amazing, guys. You get like a little mech you
sent that video for me in the file. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, I sent it for the file.
Alright, let's give me a sec.
Yeah. Yeah, while Max gets that, guys, basically, guys, Square Enix is doing this, and I guess this game will be built using the same system as Final Fantasy 15. And you guys saw how beautiful that game was. So we know we could expect to see a great beauty in this. We also have the designer from Metal Gear in this. Although he was only the character designer, he knows how to do the third person shooter perspective. And I hope you guys played Metal Gear Solid 5. That had one of the best third person shooters experience for me in it, especially when you could aim down your sights and switch into first person view. If they could bring that gameplay aspect into this game as well, it would help greatly with the stealth aspect of it. And I saw a bit of it. It looked like Metal Gear Solid 5.
It's up.
Yeah. And this is the trailer. This is the most recent trailer for the game, basically introducing that how it's gonna be released in 2019, March 5th. You guys can check it out. Well, while we're streaming it right here, but the game looks really excited. I really hope there's a Japanese voice option, because I heard the guy, their God in heaven, he did not song right. Everybody else song decent, but this guy here seen at the start of the video, he does not song like his age, man. People, he sounds like a 15-year-old, like a 16 or 15-year-old. He most probably is. Yeah, that's the other protagonist, and this is the last one. So like you see the game through their tree's perspective.
Tell me that not looking good, guys. Come on, please.
Come on, Fred. Yeah, I admit that looks good.
Is that a transformer?
Yeah, that could never be it.
You see the disrespect? You see the disrespect?
That is disrespectful.
You see the disrespect? Watch now.
Was that,
Watch now. I don't be dissing that them Assassin's Creed games, eh? It's the same thing all the time.
No, come on. He look like Starscream. Look like Starscream. Yeah.
Alright, you see?
Look at that mech gameplay. Look at that.
That's a trans. Alright, fine, I'll buy it because it look like a transformer. So
yeah, so like that's the guys I mentioned, guys, and that's the date for the pre-order. It will not be coming to Xbox, nor will it be coming to Switch. And that's like that's the mech edition. Oh crap, we should have paused the video there.
I can't pause.
Yeah, that's okay. That was me. I should have give you a picture so you could have like show the guys picture. But
okay.
Basically the mech edition, guys, come with a lot of nice goodies, and that little mech was awesome. But yeah, that's basically it for tonight, guys.
Call it like a mech and call it what it really and truly is.
A mech. It's not a transformer.
Frederick,
Fred, a
have no idea
transformer
what a mech
is a
is.
mechanized self, a self-actualized.
That is an
robot
organic.
that
That's a metallic. That's like a living organism. Kinda.
So
A mech is like no, a human is piloting it. It's different.
Can we call it like a piloted transformer now?
Alright, here
Wait.
No, for a second, do not fall for it.
No, I was going to talk about. I just forget this great mech game. Completely forgot it.
Front mission.
That was recently.
Titanfall. Yes, Titanfall. That was great. Even though it was such a bust.
That was EA fault, by the way. Guys.
Yeah,
but guys,
I totally enjoyed that game.
Yeah, but guys, and we've had so much fun talking with you guys, but we have to, end the stream at some point. So I'm gonna give it to Max right now.
Well, actually, I have an announcement. For a second, and I was deliberating what we're gonna do in between the time between Red Dead and Fallout 76, and I just sort of a great idea. Actually, I did told for a second that I want to do a video on the top 10 games for this year, and like what are the games that what you think might be like game of the year. I mean, we have a couple, but there are lots of games that are in the running still. They might be the number ones. They mightn't be all the top echelons. But I was thinking for Forsaken, and I can say this now because I know Forsaken is gonna back me up. I think that we are gonna stream every one of the top 10 games, starting from Dragon Quest all the way up. So we in the Brothers of Steel, we'll show you every single option for Game of the Year. And I was just waiting for Red Dead to launch. You know, I was like, you know, I've been waiting, but I think in the meantime we'll show the other games. Waiting boy for Forsaken.
Yeah, I think we should show the other game.
Well, we could do that, and then we could also like have like a poll or something like that. You know,
Yeah,
so, like,
for real. I could probably post it on the Facebook page.
Like, you know,
On the Facebook page, we could probably do that. So the first game we're going to stream is actually Dragon Quest. It comes in at number 10 on the best games for this year. So look forward to that. And guys, don't forget, you can always check out tomorrow for our.
We just talk.
What?
Before we go off with our closure, why was Osei Amon? Osei, we are friends. We are friends. Why you with this Red Dead talk, dog?
That man say all top 10 is Red Dead, yes? No, we have to have other games. Red Dead. We all know it boils down to two top games, but what I'm trying to say, guys, let's be real gamers here. There are different types of games, and many games that came out this year that we have to give recognition to. All right. We need to give recognition to those games, even though you mightn't play it and stuff. Let's just take a look at it. All right. Forsaken is still there?
That's why
I'm still there.
I asked for my refund. I accidentally pre-ordered that. I mean, it might be a good game, but I want my money. I don't want to buy that game.
Nah, Sony tell me on drugs. When he tell them, like, you know, it was a mistake, they was like, so we don't see any mistake here. Are you sure? Oh wait, you know, a couple weeks earlier we saw a mistake. Assassin's Creed on the pre-order list you had here. You want us to cancel that instead?
Guys, thank you for supporting the Brothers of Steel on our Tuesday Game Talk chat, of course, with Forsaken and Dartfred. And don't forget, tomorrow night we will be having Fortnite with the younger Brothers of Steel, and we'll be looking forward to Crazy Goat and Ned. They'll be taking the charge, and they'll be playing some playgrounds for you and saying, you know, basically showing off their skills. So we like to support the younger Brothers of Steel that are coming up, you know. So it's all about the younger streamers tomorrow. So, you know, let's give them the support they require, right? So that'll be Fortnite tomorrow night, and probably next week we will begin. If not this weekend, depending on when Forsaken and I could arrange it, we're going to be starting with Dragon Quest, and we work all our way up to number 1 for the Game of the Year. So guys, thanks for joining the stream. Look forward to seeing you another time on Game Talk.